We did the topic about the Battle of Bataan.
After the Japanese invaded Pearl Harbor, they turned their attention on the Philippines. The Philippines was the location of the U.S. second largest Pacific military base.
It was important that the Japanese took over because key Pacific shipping lanes surrounded it, and it was near the Japanese regions of expansion. So once the Japanese took down the U.S. Navy, they knew the Philippines were vulnerable.
During December of 1941, the Japanese had started to land their soldiers on the Philippine Islands. They had also captured airfields in the north and east part of the islands, so they wouldn't have to worry of the U.S. Air Force disturbing. They started early.
On December 22nd, the Japanese began their main assault at Liagan Gulf and Lamon Bay, and U.S. General Douglas MacArthur put War Plan Orange 3, or WPO 3. It was designed to be a defensive retreat.
This war plan calls for the U.S. and Filipino forces to begin a slow fighting retreat to the Bataan Peninsula, where they will wait for the reinforcement from the U.S. Navy.
Just up north of Manila Bay, the United States set up a defense line on January 2nd, 1942. That was to give the Army more time to retreat, and the Army soon fell back again. The Albuquerque Malvern line on the Bataan Peninsula was the fallback they established.
On the 22nd of January to the 8th of February, the United States had fought against the Japanese army because they had retreated their final defensive position on the peninsula. The United States had pushed the Japanese back when they were trying to attempt to land their soldiers on the beach at the Longoscoin and Silalaman. The United States had already had this position for over a month.
General MacArthur was taken off the island by boat on March 12th, and he soon would arrive in Australia. From Australia, General MacArthur had addressed the Filipino people on radio broadcast saying that I shall return, but that will be a while. It would take some time.
On the 3rd of April, the Japanese had begun to bomb the United States on Bataan. The United States General King had surrendered to the Japanese on April 9, 1942.
There was a total of 75,000 soldiers out of 60,000 Filipinos and 15,000 Americans. Soon became prisoners of the war.
The forces for the Japanese were the United States and Filipinos. They had gathered all the prisoners of war and began to force a 60-mile march from Marvels to San Fernando.
This march was soon known as the Bataan Death March.
The prisoners were not able to have food and had very little amounts of water, and they had to march around the clock.
Anyone that were not able to march often complained, was helping other prisoners who were falling behind the march, or was killed.
The Japanese had also killed Filipino citizens while on the way.
The horrible actions that the Japanese had did was beheadings, cutting throats, stabbing by bayonets, cutting their guts, rape, and being beaten by the butt of their rifles.
About 11 people had been killed due to the Japanese cruel actions and the consequences due to the Bataan Death March.
This is our battle map. It shows where the main battles were set up and when the soldiers began to fight. It gives the given dates of when an event had happened and when it ended. This map shows a clear pathway to where the battle ended up being and where it was headed towards. That's the end of our slides.